Evening all, welcome back to eveonline. So, I have a Stratios now, and it's a rather nice ship. This is a little bit of exploration that I was doing. Funny kind of thing with these ships is that they have I don't know, I mean, this is only, what, a 3 of 10, 4 of 10, I can't remember. I just showed it, I can't remember. This is me doing the voice after it. Anyway, so I like the ship a lot. I think the exploration stuff is really nice. The fact that it can warp cloaked. Somebody explained to me the difference between this and a recon cruiser because they do feel quite similar. I just assume it's the exploration bonuses like hacking and stuff like that. So, but either way, really nice ships. And this for me is content that came about when I was away. So the Sisters of Eve, I don't know who they are. I'm going to have to look up who they are because that's actually of interest to me. The fact that they are explorers is kind of cool as well. So, post in the comments, tell me, give me a link or give me a kind of synopsis of who the Sisters of Eve are, and do they have dudes? Because for some reason I seem to have a Sisters of Eve man's uniform, something exploration suit, whatever. So I'm confused. Anyway, so that aside, loving the exploration at the moment. I actually spent probably about 2 hours this week just flying around, enjoying jumping around star systems I've never been to before. What impresses me and inspires me is just how populated Empire is, which is really nice. And you're probably thinking, what are you talking about? Well, in 0-0, when I lived there for all those years, it was obviously very, in some cases populated, but in most cases not. And there were just whole tracts of constellations of systems that just had no one living in them, which was a bit depressing because when you think about it, I mean, I'm sure it's different now because I know people rent systems and they actually are given the system and off you go. I think the fact that there's different security levels, or I think you can make crap systems good is what I'm saying. In Empire, I think it doesn't apply that way. But what I like is that the exploration capability has made you firstly want to go and explore, which is nice, and secondly, it's made people spread out a bit. Now, Jita remains a hub, and everywhere around Jita still remains quite a hub. But I like the fact that, around this space, Amar Empire space, which is, I think, the biggest empire, there's loads of systems, and generally, they're kind of occupied. And I actually like that. I don't think I found a single system without an engineering complex, a refinery, or a citadel. And I like that. I think that really, to me, shows that there's a desire to build civilization in space. I never really played in high security space ever. When I started playing the game, the first thing I did pretty much was move to I guess I did for the first maybe 6 months, but then it was pretty much into deep space. And, for me, that's always been what Eve is to me. Whereas I like the fact that you're flying around space and you're seeing other people doing things. And this isn't just NPCs. This is like other people playing the game. For me, and there are people that I don't know that could be hostile to me. They might have wayward intentions, but either way, that's cool because that means it's an unknown. And for me, that was actually quite a strange concept for me, having lived in 0-0, where really, whether or not what their standings position is really what they mean to you. So, and that is a bit too simple for my liking. So there we go. So that's my kind of mind-blowing revelation while I've been doing this. The Stratios is a nice ship, but it's terrible with lasers. It just seems as if it doesn't have any... There's no point almost putting turrets on this thing. So if anybody has a good Stratios fit, please link me it. All I did here was just basically tank for Sanchez. And just basically, go for it. And drones, the fact they're a drone boat is slightly concerning and annoying as well. Because I don't like drone boats. I like missile boats and turret boats. So, it's an experience to learn that. But having now done it, I can tell you I actually quite like it. I think drones make an awful lot of sense. So there we go. I think I've probably tanked most of the kind of level 4 complexes in this. I went into the one with the mining foreman, is it? Or the foreman of the site, the true Sancha dude. I don't think this one's it. It was another one. But this ship was able to tank the whole site, and it was pretty sweet. And I did like that. So... I think I'm enjoying the game. I mean, that's the way to think of this. There's still so much that I'm learning. I will do an invention video. I know I've been asked a few times for that now. Just understand the mechanics of doing it because it's spread across 9 accounts. And of those 9 accounts, it's not easy to just jump from screen to screen and so on to show what I'm doing. So it'll take a little bit of time to do. But I mean, seriously, I'm making a lot of money from it. I'd say that if you do it casually, you're going to be earning at least $500 million, maybe 700 million net. And then in terms of gross, I'd probably say you're going to be turning about 300 to 400 million a day. And that would be with just a couple of 20-minute sessions a day done. You need to put a fair bit of work in it at the front because you need to have the blueprint copies. You need to have a lot of invested ISK in Tech 2 materials, so your Moon products. You also need to buy lots and lots of Tech 1 to cater for this. So and lots of PI stuff as well. So there's a large shopping list of things you have to buy. If you're not an organized person, Invention is not for you. I can tell you that now, because the amount of times I've woken up and quickly logged on to Eve to start the process before I go to work. And, in a good day, it can take 15 minutes. It can take 10 minutes, in fact. But on a bad day, it will take half an hour to 45 minutes. Because if you go through the process of doing it and then you realize you've forgotten construction blocks, which is a major one, or superconductors, which are really frustratingly annoying, you have to then fly to JITA, or you have to fly to a hub to buy them, to then bring them back. So you're going to need transport ships. You're going to need a fair bit of organizational skill. But if you and also you need to have patience, because it takes weeks to get the right amounts of blueprint copies in place, so you can then just mass produce stuff. But having said that, I probably am sat on around, I don't know, if I say 9 characters, so each run I'm making about 900 components. I sometimes do ships, sometimes, but ships seem to take a bit longer to do. For me, I've not really understood the financials of ships at the moment yet. They don't seem to be as profitable as, say, making other Tech 2 modules, which does indeed seem profitable. So you see what I mean? There's a lot of moving parts with Invention, which I'll probably come to at some point. But for now, I'm just enjoying shooting stuff. I really am. I don't need the ISK. I mean, I'm sat basically doing my mining. So again, I did a mine last night. I gave up after about half a bill because I just couldn't be bothered anymore. So if you know where my station is, feel free to mine it. I don't mind. It's all cool. But for me, I'm enjoying the game and what it has to offer and what it gives me. Now, having said this, there seems to be a lot of interest in terms of what the next steps of CCP are going to be, because, for example, I received through my email a survey asking questions about potentially Project Nova. So it was lots of kind of design evaluation questions. What is important to you? Is it important that you have a game that's kind of very complex, or is it a camaraderie game? What's of interest to you? And I said, basically, from my point of view, that the thing that I liked most would be that it's very closely linked to Eve. So you could board a ship effectively with troopers who it immediately kicks off a game. So you could have like an alliance with, say, 100 dust troopers stood ready to go, and then as soon as you latch onto the Titan, then a little mini game starts. Those ships become indestructible in Eve, and they're like in battle, in duel, or whatever you want to call it, but they're indestructible. And then the dust troops start fighting, and then the defending alliance has to quickly mobilize troops to then come and defend it. Simple stuff. I mean, I know mechanically it'd be a bloody nightmare to do, but if you do that, and again, it's all about the sizzle, it's all about having something that the gaming press and the gaming populace will look at it and say, wow, that's cool. If you look at Battle Royale Fortnite, or Fortnite Battle Royale, whatever it's called, that is a very good example of where really by taking PUBG, making it Looney Tunes, giving it emotes and skins, because God, people love those skins, and making it about building, so there's a little bit of Minecraft in there, all of a sudden you get this huge YouTube generation of kids who love playing Minecraft, who love that whole thing, who've grown up with Minecraft, who now basically are evolving into a more mature game, which is Battle Royale. Now, this to me is a fascinating thing. If you watch a streamer play, if you watch Twitch at any point, the people playing PUBG are wizened old fat dudes, and the people playing Fortnite are kind of little multiple coloured hair little dudes who are obviously of that age group, and that shows you all you need to know. Now, a shooter for Eve, let's face it, the average age of the Eve player is 35 to 40 now. That needs to be reflecting the fact that people want more PUBG than Battle Royale, Fortnite, whatever it's called. So For me, that's the difference. But there we go. Post in the comments, let me know what you think. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you next time.